So, are you guys alive?
Yeah.
Are you? Is your heart beating? Does that make you alive? Right. It's keeping your body moving, your body alive, your organs working, everything being circulated through you, hopefully, unless there's a congestion somewhere, right? So when we are living from our heart, being alive is being enthusiastic. It is being so alive that you feel your presence down to the core. It is being excited and using our ability of zeal. That is being alive. And how can we be alive until we know the power of the heart? The heart is what beats. The heart is what brings you into the liveliness of your passion. It's not just that the heart's beating, it's that you have connected to your heart before your mind. It works in a way that when we go to the heart for direction, for that intuitiveness, for that divine intelligence is part of the makeup of your heart. Did you know that? Did you know your heart is intelligent? Did you know your heart is intuitive? Did you know your heart knows where you're going and how to get you there? If you get out of the way, right? That's what we have not learned, is that we can't seem to surrender and get out of the way. Once that passion comes in, excitement comes in for us to propel us to take a step toward that direction, what happens? Instead of letting it go and allowing Source, all that is, to place in your path whatever it is that you need to create that passion, to create that inspiration that comes to you through your heart. Once we surrender that, it comes to us gently and with grace if we're paying attention. So I ran across this movie. You all know I got rid of my Netflix, and I've got the Gaia channel now. So when I went in to look for, what direction to go for this today, I watched this beautiful movie called The Power of the Heart. And it has you could read down here, all the people that talk in the movie that we all know and kind of follow, has our masters in this generation. And it talks about that, what I just said, that the heart, the power is here, right here in our center. It's where the soul lays, within that heart space. But if we aren't creating from that heart, what happens? We lose our liveliness. We become like robots on autopilot. Instead of us following the intuitive nature of who we are and why we have come here and what our purpose is, which comes from the heart space, we are allowing the world to fill that space up. We're allowing society to tell us, well, you look this way, so you got to do this. You have this skill, so you got to do that. We're being directed outside here, right? Right. So you become, as they said in the movie, the walking dead. You're walking around, you're doing your life, living your life, your heart's beating, you're probably complaining a lot, you're probably living in negativity, you probably got all these physical ailments because you're placing the focus on the ailments and you're worried about everything, and so your heart, you start laying these layers over top of your heart. Just block your heart, one layer after the other, to the point where your heart doesn't even know how to beat to the rhythm of love anymore. Now you're beating to the rhythm of fear because you're out here living in fear. Like we talk about, every storm, if you get up above in in a plane and you see a storm, every single storm has an eye. An eye of calm, an eye of peace, where the doves can fly through and not even be disturbed. You are that same center. You are that same eye, that same place of peace in the storm. Allow the storm around you. Let it go. Let it swirl, do what it needs to do. Because if you are standing in the power of your heart, you will rise above it. And not only will you rise above it, you will be given tools to assist the storm. And you can't assist the storm if you're in the storm, right? How can you be of any assistance to others who are in that chaotic craziness if you're not centered and you're not coming from a place of peace? You can't. You can't. The power of the heart has to begin with you and you and you and you. It all has to begin within each side of each of you. No, I'm waving at you because I'm talking about you too. No. I didn't want to leave you out because you're like way back there. I didn't want to leave you out. I want to connect my heart to your heart. Yes. So that's how we connect. And the broken heart. How come we have to break our heart so many times? What's that all about? Why do we come here if we're trying to find out who we are, what we're supposed to do, what our purpose is? Why is it that my heart has to get broken so many times before I find out how to do that? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I want to share with you, I don't know if any of you remember Christina Chesterman. She was hit by a drunk driver, and her parents were filled with anger, and this was a woman who lived from her heart, who loved others, and just couldn't understand how this could happen to her. Well, we know that from divine order that there was a reason for this to happen to Christina. But what I want you to understand about this story is that there was something that you could see actually happening within her story to help you see how heart-giving this story ended up being. Her parents found her bucket list. After 3 weeks after she had passed, they went into her room and they found her bucket list. And on her bucket list, she had still numerous things that she had not done yet. Well, when Christina passed, she was an organ donor, and all of her organs went out to different people all over the world. And she always wanted to travel the world. So her parents felt like, well, she's traveling the world just by, her organs going to different people. And then the lady that got her heart was a nurse, and Christina was a nurse. So when they met the lady who got her heart, they went to her, they wanted to hear the heartbeat, which, a parent would want to hear the heartbeat of their daughter. So they went and they sat down and talked to her, and they brought the bucket list. Well, when they showed her the bucket list, Christina was a nurse, and this lady was a nurse, but on the bucket list was all of these things that this lady had done. So it was almost like this lady was chosen through, divine, that this is who would get her heart. Because she had lived out so many of Christina's things on her bucket list. So the bucket list stayed with her, and that lady promised that she would do the rest of the things on the bucket list. So these beautiful stories that come out of such sorrow and such grief. And then they created a foundation, Christina Chesterman's Memorial Foundation. And they help people who just, need like maybe a nursing career, need financial help, or they even travel to foreign countries where they help people, assist them in medical stuff. So we have to understand that even though the heart breaks, and we have to go through these things in our life, there is a reason that she came here to die and to leave this beautiful legacy of hers that is empowering others. So just wanted you to kind of know that story. So in the movie that I watched, they talked about some things that help us to stay within our heart. And one of the things is simplicity. It's about subtracting the obvious and adding the meaningful. And this is a cell phone here. I like that little image there, that cell phone. Because we're so attached to that, it's hard to kind of subtract that from our life. But this is just saying that when we make things so difficult and we become overwhelmed, we are no longer connected to our hearts. It's in the simple little everyday things that we pay attention to, the flowers and the trees and the moon and the sun and each other. And it's about the simplicity of that. When we let go of all the things that are just mounting on top of us, we lose connection with our heart. Because then we're up here, right? We're up here thinking, in the mind, right? So we bypass the heart and we've gone straight to the mind, and then that's what's going to show up out here. So what can you subtract from your life that is keeping you overwhelmed, that's keeping you from not focusing and connecting to your heart, that's up here and creating your monkey mind? So these are things that ask yourself, what can I do to simplify my life so that I can hear my heart, so that I can listen? Patience is another one they talked about. It's the calm acceptance that things can happen in a different order than the one that you have in mind. Yeah. We all want what we want when we want it. You know, there's a sense of urgency that we all live from, right? Gotta get this done, gotta get that done, gotta see this person, da 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 da. Well, there's no way I'm connecting to my heart when that's going on, right? And when I am sitting here, I'm wanting to create something, but I want it to be created exactly how I want it to be, and I want it to look this way, and this is the way I want it to all happen. Well,
I've never said that.
Okie dokie, Julie.
James is gonna fall in his chair.
I love it. Yeah. When we create and we hold whatever the desire is, the intention, it's in the letting go of it that it comes to you. But it's in the letting go that it comes to you for your highest good and the highest good of everybody else. Now, would you have known how to have done that on your own without your heart? It wouldn't have been very pretty. More than likely. So patience is just allowing and accepting your life to flow through your heart and giving it that room to do that by not sitting up all your expectations and shoulds and coulds and woulds. Right? Patience. The last thing they talked about was compassion is the passion with a heart. So many people get compassion kind of confused. Compassion is not about trying to fix things, trying to fix somebody, trying to give them solutions and how to run their life. When someone is struggling and they're in pain and they're grieving, compassion is sitting with them and being present, supporting them and loving them as you allow them to feel what they need to feel. Because it's in the feeling what they need to feel that their release will come. We're not here to fix other people. We are here to do the work ourselves, to create the self-love for ourselves, and then we become an example and a demonstration of that for other people to gravitate toward. And then you step back and you just hold that presence. That's compassion. That's being there with them, honestly being present, no matter what they're going through. And feeling that passion that you are able to connect with them heart to heart, no matter what else is happening to them. So this is another story I want to share with you. This is forgiveness as another aspect of the heart, the power of the heart. Forgiveness is everything. If you are not able to forgive, your heart is completely closed off. So you're living from the head. You're either living in resentment, anger, fear, whatever you're living from, if you're not forgiving. And forgiveness is about you. Of course, it's about the other person, but it's about you freeing yourself from those feelings that are not serving you. So this woman here, Marianne Williamson, was on the movie, and they asked her about forgiveness. And she said, anytime I want to forgive somebody, I think about her story. How do you say that, Margot? Immaculate? So she was present when they were having the Holocaust of the tribes in Rwanda. And when they lost their president, and she was part of a tribe that was not liked, so they were going around killing all of them. I mean, they killed like millions of people with machetes. So a pastor got a hold of her and 6 other women, and he wanted to try to save them. So he put them in a 3x4 bathroom that had a shower and a commode in it. 7 women in this 3x4. So they were all squished in. You know, they could go to the bathroom, they couldn't take a shower, and then when they went to the bathroom, they had to flush the toilet because there was another bathroom. They had to flush the toilet when somebody else was going, so no one would know that they were in there. And they thought they'd been there 3 or 4 days. They were in there 3 months. And a couple of times the army had come to get them, and they were luckily, not luck, but they were blessed that they were not discovered. And during this time that she was in there, she went through so many different feelings. She was so angry that her body would tremble, and she just furious. She couldn't wait to get out so she could kill all of them, and just feel. So it started affecting her physically. She started having headaches. Her body started aching. It just started appearing in her physical body, what she was going through, this anger and stuff. So as she was sitting there, she kept hearing, pray, pray. So she started to pray the Our Father. And she couldn't pray the part that said, forgive them for their trespasses, for they know not what they do. She couldn't say that. So she decided, okay, I'm going to say the whole prayer, but I'm not going to say that part. So the anguish kept going on, and it just was terrible, and she was still having all these anger feelings and living like that. And so she finally decided, you know what, that was a prayer. It was made for a reason. I'm going to go ahead and say it. So she started saying the whole thing. And she felt this surge come in her body of forgiveness and seeing it different, looking through different eyes, looking through the heart because of the forgiveness in that prayer. So when she did that, the headache left. Her physical body started becoming better. She even saw different faces on the walls. Of one side of the shower stall had Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King, and Gandhi, and all the beautiful, loving people of the passed through our world. And the other side was Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan and all this. And she got this image of, it's my choice. I can be with this hate, or I can be with this love. But in her thinking about the people of the love, Mother Teresa and all of them, she remembered all the struggles they went through and how they had to survive through those. And still they were able to be this love and compassion to other people. So that was this huge awakening she had. That it's in the struggle that they became that they rose above it. It was in the rising above it and staying connected to the heart. And she transformed her whole experience in there. And when she finally got out and found out her whole family had been slaughtered and killed, she went to the cell where the guy that did that to her family. And she actually had grown up with this guy. He was a teacher, and he was a wonderful person when she knew him in the past. And the prison guard came in and told her she could have this billy club and beat this guy because this guy had also killed his wife and 5 kids. He said, I'm going to leave you in here and you can beat him, do whatever you want to him. Well, when he sat down there and she just looked at him and she said, I forgive you. And he started crying. And you could just see they connected heart to heart. He said, I forgive you. She wanted to, not only did she free herself, she wanted to free him. That's the power of the heart. She wanted to free him as well. Beautiful, beautiful story. So, it's all about relationships. Now we're going to just look at this heart thing. How do we develop our heart? How do we grow our heart? We grow it through relationships. And I'm not talking about love relationships. I'm talking about all relationships. That's how we grow the heart. And they give us this perfect example. They take this match. Now this match has fire in it, right? Okay? Just like the heart has fire in it. The heart can be ablaze and filled with fire and energy. But what does it take to exercise that heart? What does it take to push against that heart so it grows? When you strike it, when fiction, when challenges, when difficulties come and rub against you, that is what ignites your heart. That is what wakes your heart up. To know that you are alive and that you are feeling your feelings. You are no longer numb and the walking dead. So, when you have relationships and people pushing your buttons, we talked about this last week, the triggers and everything, look at those. Your heart is trying to get your attention. It wants to grow. It wants to speak to you. It wants you to listen. It wants to give you guidance. It wants to direct you to the highest good, to go deeper into your highest purpose. But you got to rub against it, and you got to ignite it and fuel it. So we do that through rising above any struggles we have in our relationships. So how do we connect with the heart? Well, they use this example about these 2 men are going to have a meeting, the 2 businessmen. And this one guy says, now before we meet, we're going to go out and jump on this trampoline. And he says, ain't no way. He was a big, burly guy, and he's very business professional, had suit and tie on. No, I'm not doing that. He said, well, then our meeting's over. Either you come out and jump on the trampoline with me, or our meeting's over. So they went out there. The guy starts jumping on the trampoline. This other guy took his shoes off for him and everything. And they get on the trampoline, and they're jumping, and this guy's laughing and carrying on, and he's like, oh my God, what's happening to me? You know. And that guy said, the reason I wanted you to do this, because I wanted you to feel the child within. I wanted your heart to talk to me in our meeting. I didn't want to talk to you from your mind. I wanted to talk to you through your heart. So the way that I ignited your heart was to get you into the childlike consciousness. So they had a wonderful meeting and they went on their way. And never lose your childlike fascination with the wonders of the world. We have an inner child that's always there, and that is always trying to get our attention, that is always trying to initiate fun, play, connect to me. I will bring you joy and bliss and peace. In the middle of the storm, I will be that eye for you. That inner child is so precious. And you are there to create safety for that inner child now. And that inner child is there to create fun, laughter, play. And when that's one way we connect, is to become like a little child again. Brings you straight to your heart space. Synchronicity, a wink from the universe. A lot of us are experiencing this right now. And the reason we're experiencing this right now is because we have connected to our heart. We're doing a lot of heart work on our Wednesday night groups. And the universe is opened up to assisting us in that heart energy. So we're getting these synchronicities. When we touch the heart like that, the universe wants to let us know, yeah, you're on the right path. Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah. And things start coming into your path. Things start happening that say, yes, thumbs up. Yes, you're doing great. Yes. That's how it works. So, so many people, well, what if I give this up? Or what if I let go of that? Or what if I'm in my heart, I'm not thinking, something happens. The thing is, when you're in your heart, the only thing that can happen is the good. For you and the whole. And you will get everything you need as you pay attention to the synchronicities that are showing up for you to give you that thumbs up. So I had this last week in this, and I wanted to do it again because it was so beautiful. Why do we close our eyes and we pray, cry, kiss, or dream? Because the most beautiful things in life are not seen, but felt by the heart. So let's take some deep breaths right now. And let's go right to that heart space. And when you close your eyes, pay attention as you close your eyes. Where does your attention go? Right to your heart. Right to your heart. So let's just breathe into this heart space and feel. Life is about feeling. Life is about feeling alive, connected to the universe. Unlimited potentials everywhere. Unlimited potentials everywhere just by your desire and changing the focus from the mind to the heart. So as we go into meditation, let's just position ourselves to be right here, right now, in this precious moment, connected to that heart space. And ground yourself to Mother Earth. And this meditation does really well at sitting you up for your relaxation. So enjoy.